Hey lovely sexy hobby people, welcome to today's video, which is going to be Warhammer Combat Patrol issue 14. It's two paints. We get Rakarth Flesh and Screamer Pink. So the delivery that we've just had, 11 to 14, not a massive amount of miniatures with this particular delivery. We should get more in the next one. I know we're definitely going to be getting some more Termagants, but and I also think I should be getting the first of the premium deliveries, so the Ballista Dreadnought and the Hive Tyrant, I think it is, that I should get with the next delivery. So come and join me on the desk, we'll have a look through 14 and I'll see you there. Hey lovelies. Right, Combat Patrol number 14. We get two paints with this, Rakarth Flesh and Screamer Pink. Let's put those aside and let's get into this. So straight in with some how to paint, using Rakarth Flesh for purity seals here and for the parchment on the purity seals, and I assume that they'll use the Screamer Pink for the purity seal wax. Yeah, which they are doing. So cool. And then essentially they're just giving you your work in progress. Some Screamer Pink on the Tyranids. So tongues and a couple of claws. No, just tongues. Another tongue there, tongue there. So yeah, that's what you're going to be using it for. Okay, so red section, read A, Inquisition, information about the Inquisition and whether it be Ordo Hereticus, Ordo Malleus or Ordo Xenos. So Hereticus is obviously dealing with heresy, Ordo Malleus I believe is demons, and obviously Xenos is aliens. Yeah, so demons for Ordo Malleus. So B section in our read, Oath of Moment, talking about obviously what purity seals and their parchments mean in this one. If you've ever read any of the Horus Heresy novels, there was a lot of reference to Space Marines writing out an Oath of Moment and pinning it to their armour. Mightiest foes, bear witness. When an Oath of Moment is formally sworn, it must be witnessed. In the heat of battle, the Space Marine's witness is often his brothers, who will record his great deeds or his failures. Then we've got Tyranids information, the Third Tyrannic War. Hellish intervention. So intense was the violence on Baal that it tore the very fabric of reality, permitting the demon lord Karbunda and his bloodthirsty legions to pour forth into the planet's surface. Despite being ancient enemies of the Blood Angels, the demons proved to be a source of unlikely aid. Upon Baal's blasted deserts, Karbunda and his forces piled Tyranid skulls into a towering idol of the Blood God. And then Dante, Chapter Master of the Blood Angels, who's one of the oldest living Space Marines at this time. Over 1,000 years old, is it? Oldest Space Marine in the Imperium to not be interred in Dreadnought. Blah, 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 blah. No, it doesn't say there. Then we're going talking about deployment. How to deploy your models in different ways. Who deploys first? Who gets first turn? Deployment tips. So sometimes if you've got infiltrators, you might want to set them up on a flank so that they can do a flank move into position. If you've got fast attack, again, they might be useful either on a flank or in the center board, where they can literally charge up the board on the first or second turn to take an objective. Battle line units, I tend to try and deploy battle line units in depth so that there are other units that back them up should it be necessary. And what we mean by in depth is, for example, you might have 2 units forward and then a third back, and then that unit can offer support to whichever unit needs it most. Infiltrators Deep Strike. It talks about the Deep Strike rules. Then you've got Scenario 10 Deep Strike. An overwhelming force of Tyranids has gathered to battle the Space Marines. It will take more than brute force to win this battle. The Space Marines have planned a surgical strike utilizing teleportation. However, the Tyranids have tricks of their own to try. Tyranids' turn. So all their phases of their turn. Then we've got an example of move and shoot. Space Marines' turn, and then all their moves, etc. And then an example of them moving and shooting. Example charge and fight here. And then you've got your, was it a Space Marine victory or a Tyranids victory? And then to look forward, in issue 15 we get our Psychophage, and then we get some more paints in issue 16, and then 17 and 18 are 10 more Termagants. So let's have a look. So Screamer Pink, I use it a lot on my Space Marines for purity seals. So the purity seal wax, it gets used. I also use it a lot on the hafts and like pommels, handles, etc. for swords and axes and stuff like that, where they've got like the material wrapped around the handle. So I use a lot of Screamer Pink for that. In D&D, I use this a lot on sort of like characters that may be of royalty or baronial heritage. And then Rakar Flesh, I tend to use this mostly for things like zombies, where they want sort of like a deathly pallid colour. And I'll sometimes use it on as a base. For example, the Feated Blight drone has like a skin on the back of it, so I often base it with this, but then use a wash over the top, you know, whether that be a crimson wash or something like that, just to make it look like it's angry skin, it's infected, that sort of thing. But on things like zombies, I'll put it down and then put a base, a wash over the top to make it look rotted and things like that. So they're good colours to have. They're both base colours. They both cover reasonably well. I've not really had any issues using both of these. So yeah, they're good paints to have. And as I always say, if I wanted to go into town to buy these, because although I've got a small hobby shop just around the corner from me, they don't have the full paint range. So if I wanted these colours, and I can only get them in town, it's going to cost me £4 each way on the bus. Or even if I drove in, it could equally cost me £4 just to park up and then go to the shop. But there you go. That was issue 14. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you join me in the next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.